The Transformers episode Bot is good, actually. Everyone mad now? Okay, good. Bot sucks, actually. Bot is indeed a very stupid episode of Transformers. It has some annoying high school students we've never heard of and luckily never hear from again, making an idiotic robot which runs around being dumb, and somehow the Transformers can't just blow it away in 2 seconds. However, to me, Carnage in C Minor's fever dream like constant nonsense tops it, so that's why it's my favorite bad episode of Transformers. And while Bot is quite the shit show, I don't even personally think it's the worst episode of Season 2 of Transformers G1, let alone the whole series. Anyone remember the episode Prime Target and how insanely stupid that was?
Hey!
Bot is some nonsense, but seriously, what the hell was that? And that's why I'm here to defend Bot. Not really, it's pretty indefensible. Even Defensor can't defend this crap. He can blow Bruticus away in 1 shot though, apparently.
Combaticons, form Bruticus!
So, what were the Combaticons doing in the city and why were they forming Bruticus? I don't know. It's like we started this episode's story already being in progress. Guess this is also just a thing in really bad Transformers episodes. Gestalt's easily getting taken out in 1 shot. But hey, at least here it was another combiner doing it and not a microscope. It's pretty sad when you remember that Bruticus was only introduced 3 episodes ago and is already being booked like a jobber.
Defensor! Call sanitation. There's junk all over the street.
So, Defensor just immediately doesn't care at all about the Combaticons or double-checking his 1-shot work here. Just, yup, they must be dead. Sure, I see Swindle moving around, but I don't care. I'm not paid by the hour.
Now, where am I gonna find parts?
This is one of the super confusing parts of this episode. Swindle here at first acts like he wants to repair his fellow Combaticons and heads over to some El Presidente guy who I guess sells illegal weapons and parts personally. Guess times were a bit rough for ol' El Presidente. Not so rough, though, that he can't buy Combaticon parts from Swindle, cause that's apparently what happens. Swindle goes there to get parts to fix the Combaticons, but instead sells most of what's left of them. But I guess Swindle does need some human cash, cause you never know when he'll need to buy some more parts. And then end up selling parts instead.
If you hadn't spent so much time on the simulation, Megatron, maybe we'd know if your device really worked.
Silence, Starscream! You don't have to tell it like it is, Starscream!
Seriously, Megatron seems to have dropped the leadership ball a bit here. His new weapon apparently depends on Bruticus operating it for some reason. So the Combaticons should probably already be at Decepticon HQ for this plan instead of being blown up in a city randomly.
Once we have blasted the Earth's moon out of orbit, we will be able to control the tides with Soundwave's new device.
What is Soundwave's new device?
Silence, Starscream!
Jeez, if I was the leader, I'd at least not spend all day playing on the computer.
Silence, Starscream!
I'm over the Combaticons headquarters now. They do not answer my landing requests.
I have a question. I think Skywarp gets stupider every year.
That's not a question, Professor.
There's no sign of them.
Does it look like there's been a battle?
No, just a trail of parts. What should I do?
Follow the trail, dummy!
I guess this does follow the whole Skywarp isn't too smart needs Megatron's constant supervision blurb from his tech spec, even though his intelligence is rated 9, so Skywarp's a smart dummy. Swindle, for incomprehensible reasons, now decides to get rid of the rest of the Combaticon parts at a dump. I mean, geez, at least sell them on eBay, Swindle. You can usually get a good amount for that G1 junk. And if Swindle is just playing to screw over his Combiner pals and the Decepticons, he should probably sell those parts off too to make all he can before he splits. But I'm sure if old El Presidente doesn't want them, no one else on Earth would be interested in these alien robot parts. Completely useless.
I think that sleaze is up to something.
Guess old Screamer's got some kind of magnet ability to just nab things like that. What? Since when can Starscream do that? Anyway, is Megatron going to call me to let me be part of this Blast the Moon plan? He isn't, is he? I hate this episode! Anyway, Megatron is slightly less than impressed with Swindle's selling of the other Combaticons' body parts, but he manages to take it well.
Soundwave is installing a bomb in your head.
Well, if a bomb in the head doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will. Megatron's got his leadership groove back, baby!
If you haven't reassembled Bruticus in 15 hours, it will go off!
So Swindle just goes around grabbing all the parts back, and apparently they just got spread all over the world, even though the only person we saw him selling to was Al Preza didn't think this through Dante. In fact, none of these idiots thought about using this alien tech as anything more than just random parts for their vehicles. They are just slightly short-sighted morons. A real bunch of skywarps.
Sorry, but I need the parts back. Then give us our rubles back.
So, did he give them their money back? I don't know.
Very good, Swindle. Transform to Bruticus. Swindle!
I couldn't find Brawl's personality component. I didn't think it would matter.
He thought Brawl would operate fine without a brain? I mean, that might work out okay for writing this episode, but for anything else, he might need some thoughts in there at least. This seems extra silly too, considering that the Combaticons were once stripped of their bodies, and it was Starscream putting their personality components into new bodies that made them into what they are now. But judging Swindle's judgments in this episode, maybe his personality component got damaged in the move. Starscream probably dropped some Energon crumbs on it or something.
Good morning, class. Today I promise to demonstrate a laser beam.
This class is truly outrageous. I mean, besides the ridiculous laser lesson, two of the classmates here are just recolored Gem and the Holograms characters.
Aren't lasers dangerous, sir?
Not this one. It's much too low-powered. What the? I don't understand. Oh, yes, I do understand.
Maybe if you have a laser that can be easily modified from do nothing to instant murder beam, you shouldn't leave it around for your chucklehead students to shit up.
Class dismissed.
Class dismissed? How long are the classes at this school? Professor Bumblebee had like 10 seconds to show off a laser and that was gonna be it? Well, no wonder these students don't need actual desks.
I know that somehow you guys boosted the output power on that laser.
Aw, come on. We wouldn't do anything like that.
I do the talking for both of us.
You're going to get a blue ribbon at the science fair or flunk my course.
I'm so mad at you two for killing someone with a laser, so you know what? Make another science abomination! Bonus points for more death!
Oh, and just to prove I'm not a rotten guy, I'm assigning Elise Presser to help.
Why are our doorways so huge? And why is Elise being punished by having to work with these two dipshits? She didn't do anything.
Mr. Robbins just told me we're supposed to work together.
I think you should work together.
Well, as bad as this episode is, they at least got some real zingers in there. Anyway, this Elise character is slightly overly enthusiastic, I guess, and that's supposed to make her annoying? I don't know, it doesn't really come together. I think you should come together.
Help us!
Stay calm! We're coming up for you!
What the hell are those things?
The Protectobots! They only show up in the best episodes, and sometimes there's 2 hotspots, I guess.
You know what we ought to do for the science project? Build our own robot!
Actually, I think you should build yourself a neck that holds your stupid head better. So, of course, when trying to build something as sophisticated as a robot, they just grab random garbage from the junkyard that they don't understand.
I bet this is good for something. I don't know what just yet.
I got a name. If you take the first letter of each word, you get bot. Also short for robot. Bot. If you say so.
These guys can make robots and super lasers, but they need bot being short for robot explained to them.
Bot, say Martin. I must have put something in backwards.
Me too. That's why my chest is malfunctioning.
I got the strangest meter readings off this box. Let's hook it up and see if it does anything.
So, possibly, the one part they got from the junkyard that's actually for a robot is the only thing they didn't put in at first. And I'm sure just tossing in a Cybertronian personality component to a stupid student-made robot would work perfectly. The personality components seem to have changed a bit too. They looked like glowing energon things when Starscream made them into the Combaticons, but now it's just a metal box. The personality components also seem to magically make their bodies change from the rundown war debris Starscream put them into.
What are we doing in these crude carcasses?
And it let them speak normally and didn't alter their personality at all, so of course here it just makes the bot freak out and be an idiot. These stupid kids must have built one amazing pile of trash for a personality component to be able to take the beat up war garbage better than their robot.
Mighty Martin, to the rescue!
That stupid professor left the murder laser laying around still? After Bot Kool-Aid Man's through the wall, the kids decide to use the giant supercomputer that every school naturally came equipped with to ring up those giant transforming robots that they apparently just became aware of.
We can't stop him, but I know who can. The Protectobots!
So, even though they're trying to call the Protectobots, they end up with gears. That's one hell of a wrong number, you teenage twits.
It's coming from Benjamin Franklin Pierce High School.
Ironhide, you Bumblebee and Gears, check it out.
I'm not getting involved with this high school shit.
Either you tell me where that personality component is or be the first man in the moon.
Maybe those kids took it.
You better hope so.
Oh yes, the kids! I understand perfectly. With that intel, how can I not find it? Anyway, then Swindle, I guess, tries to find the kids in the junk? Yeah, he'll come up with that missing part in no time.
You're not the Protectobots.
And normally that'd be a plus, but they have gears with them. Leave Gears alone! He's the most beloved of all Autobots! Anyway, one of the main takeaways from Bot is that they don't build high schools like they used to, with hallways, rooms, and doors huge enough to easily accommodate giant robots the size of vehicles. Like, it should probably be a bit difficult for one of these Transformers to peer through this door, let alone 3 of them at the same time. Did 3 Autobots seriously get jobbed out by a tray with corn soaking in water? Really? What is that?
Now I'm mad.
Now I'm mad at you, Gears! Even you shouldn't lose to a stupid tray! Bot then performs the ultimate move. He closes the door on the Autobots. Lock the door! It is, however, a door made out of the strongest metal in the universe. Wood. Which means, naturally, the Autobots can't just bust right through it.
I don't get it.
This is just a wooden door.
It had some more wooden things piled behind it, though, so obviously the powerful alien robots couldn't move that. I suppose a question to ask when seeing the Autobots managing to have this amount of trouble with this little idiot is how much of Bot is supposed to be made out of Combaticons. All we know for sure is Bot has Brawl's personality component, but it's possible there's more. Cause Swindle did a slapdash job putting the other Combaticons back together, so him grabbing a few extra bits from other things wouldn't be too shocking. It'd actually be more shocking him finding all of their parts after throwing a bunch of them into a junkyard. So maybe Bot at least has some Cybertronium metals in him. Well, except for the fact that the Combaticons were made from war junk that Starscream found on Earth, so actually they should be weak all the time. And Bot should be dead. Like, super dead. Anyway, Bot runs over to the abandoned building with a working elevator that seems to be just right in front of the school. If this is supposed to be the burning building from earlier in the episode, it's changed a bit, but whatever, at least its power still works.
Hold on! You kids better wait here. We don't want you to watch us suck no more.
Hey, don't worry, Ironhide. You're just having a bad day. I'm sure things will go much smoother in your next adventure.
The Autobots will be vanquished forever! No! Such heroic nonsense. You kids shut the hell up. Start firing!
At what?
Just shoot! If he's up there, we hit him. So, Ironhide, I've been doing some thinking. Jazz is gonna be my second in command again. Yeah, based on the leadership I just pulled, that's completely understandable, Prime.
Anywho, they somehow didn't kill Swindle, even though Ironhide said they definitely hit the thing they couldn't see at all. Bot is good now, I guess, as he's trying to kill the douche bros in the elevator. A real face turn, but to prove how evil he is, Swindle saves them.
Oh, glad all that bad writing was just a terrible dream. You'd best start believing in stupid episodes, Brawl. You're in one. Soon we'll control the oceans.
Oh, yes, and moving some water turbines around will really make up for all the time and energy we wasted on all these devices to blast the moon out of orbit.
Silence, Starscream!
That's just the graph of the brain response we got when that box was hooked up to the scope. Right! And we can home in on this signal to find out where it is.
Oh, yeah, sure. That makes sense.
This thing says that box is somewhere out there.
I'll bet we can find them with Bot's speech synthesizer.
You rewired it. It now receives and decodes.
They might as well just say she cast a magic spell on it.
There's one Earth rotation left until we blast the moon out of orbit.
Megatron, it's been days. How long must you explain this moon plan at us?
Silence, Starscream! I want to test fire the Orbit Disruptor.
And what do you propose to use for a target?
Autobot headquarters.
So, just as an aside to his get energy by creating waves with some moon shooting plan, Megatron's gonna kill his mortal enemies.
So when we heard that, we thought that we better get to you right away, you know?
You did the right thing. Only Defensor can stand against Bruticus.
Well, that seems incredibly random, Prime. I am pretty sure you have managed against some combiners before without the almighty Defensor. And what's wrong with Superion if you really think you need a combiner? Were the aerial bots too developed? We just really need a combiner we've never learned anything about for this battle? Anyway, old Mistake Hide is back at it again, and his message to the Protectobots flies right off their screen.
The Autobots need us!
No one needs you and your gross mouth. We soon see why the Protectobots were so important for this battle when Bruticus forms and stands around acting scared.
Your stupid warrior is just standing there!
Transform back to the Combaticons! Only Defensor can stand against Bruticus.
Where is this giant glass panel wall supposed to be?
Get that right one of these days!
The dumb kids are now somehow controlling Bot, who I guess they just had in their pocket in case. And since Bot didn't seem to operate properly without Brawl's personality component dumped into it, it of course works perfectly without it now. Defensor then puts a force field up, which baffles Megatron until he comes up with the genius strat of just shoot them the moment they turn the force field off.
Now, Bruticus, fire your disruptor!
Oh, I'm glad Bruticus overcame his fears, whatever they were. But Bots messed with their controls and then presses the overload button that the Decepticons probably shouldn't have bothered installing. Goodbye, Bot. You blew in death just as you did in life.
Sorry about your robot.
We could always build another one, don't you think?
I'd say that about wraps it up.
What the hell? The douche bros just gag Elise with duct tape and drag her off, and the Autobots don't kill them? Looks like we got the bad ending on this episode. So yeah, Bot is a pretty horrible episode that is kinda highlighted by the fact it is the last episode in Season 2, right before the slightly more serious movie, which is just a bit of tone whiplash. But I still think Carnage in C Minor is the greater disaster piece than Bot. Well, that about wraps this up.
I don't like this movie, doesn't look too friendly. This would like is so fake, that toy is gonna break. Famous, don't let me down, you need to be around. Grab that chocolate pizza, I even like it cause I want. Famous, so famous, bring on Mortal Comedy. Famous, so famous, an animation movie. Famous, so famous, what really is so fun. Famous, so famous, what's your opinion about?
Why did we wait around for Bruticus to fire that moon gun? Couldn't someone else do it?
Silence, Starscream!